Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. Welcome back to another Division 2 video. My name is Prime and the Golden Bullet event is live. And we all know we need some monster builds for that. So the next few days I will give you a few builds that I love to play around with. And of course I would love to hear your opinion about it as well. Whatever build you like to run on Golden Bullet. But this build, guys, is one of my favorite builds to run around with. It will give you the ammo back from, of course, the Golden Bullet itself. The gun and the build are not on any expertise, so you can only hit harder, and this already hits up to 1.4 million without any expertise on the gun or any expertise on the gear. So you're gonna have a lot of fun and you're gonna hit even harder, because I think most of y'all are already around that level 10 of expertise, especially on guns that you like to use. And this build uses the Saint Elmos, one of the fan favorites, especially in this season, because of course next season it will be all about the Ouroboros. And as you can see in the background, we're shredding through everybody, just flying through everything, and this is one of the best builds that you can use. So without further ado, let's dive right into the build breakdown, shall we? And this is the build that you just saw. Yes, it is a striker combination with that beautiful, beautiful Saint Elmos. And as you can see, the Saint Elmos is not on expertise. Like I said in the intro, no expertise. You can only hit higher if you go for the expertise. And we all know this is such a great build to run around with already. But now with that Golden Bullet event active, this is one of the best freaking builds to run around with. And why? Because of course we're running around with that Saint Elmos and it has 70 bullets in the mag. We all know whenever we take somebody out, when Golden Bullet is active, it will refresh your magazine, and that's why you want to go for a gun that has a higher ammo count, and the Saint Elmos is just the perfect weapon for that. For the specialization, we're using the gunner specialization. Why? Because our third reload will be a little bit faster. Doesn't really do it for that, but giving us a little bit more survivability in every time that we take somebody out. It will give us 10% armor on kill. And don't forget to stack into your assault rifle damage and your pistol damage and whatever you want to go for your secondary gun. So the Saint Elmos, on this build it has a total weapon damage of 95k, 978 RPM and a mag of 70, but this RPM can go up to 1150. Yes, you heard it right, 1150 RPM whenever Golden Bullet kicks in. I chose to go for damage to target out of cover, and we all know the Actum Est. Shooting an enemy with this weapon will give you 1 stack. At 100 stack, the next magazine will be filled with 100% shock ammo. So this gives you a little bit more extra survivability as well. For my secondary gun, I chose to go for the M1A. Why? Because sometimes I just want to shoot somebody at a distance, although the Saint Elmos does a decent job because it is just a straight up laser beam. So you can choose for whatever you want to go for. Same for the pistol. I would go for something that you don't have proficient yet for the pistol, or even for your secondary gun as well. This will give you a little bit of expertise XP as well, while even not using it, so that will save you into donating the same gun or donating some materials. Then going over to the build itself, of course we're rocking the striker build. We went for the backpack, and why the backpack? Because this comes with risk management, and this increases the total weapon damage gains per stack from the striker gamble from 0.65 to 1 4%. So we're gaining an extra 100% of weapon damage. As we all know, the strikers will give us 15% weapon damage, 15% rate of fire, and then for the 4 pieces, the strikers gamble. Weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 1%. Stacking up to 100 times, 1 stack lost per second between 0 and 50 stacks, and 2 stacks lost per second between 50 and 100 stacks. And I just chose to go for critical hit damage and weapon damage on almost everything. Gloves, weapon damage, critical hit damage. Knee pads, weapon damage, critical hit chance. Holster, weapon damage, critical hit damage. Then over to my chest piece, and that's gonna be Seska. I chose to go for critical hit chance and critical hit damage on there with Obliterate, and of course a critical hit damage mod on there. Why Seska? Because this gives us a little bit more critical hit chance. You always want to be above or around that 55%. Preferably 60%, that's the cap, until we build into critical hit damage. That's why I chose to go for Seska. And of course, Obliterate is just the best talent to use for this. Critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 5 seconds, stacks up 25 times. So another air quote free 25% weapon damage. And to make this build perfect, we're going for the Coyote's mask. Of course, this gives us critical hit chance, critical hit damage mod on there, but we're doing it for the talent Pack Instincts. You and all allies gain a bonus based on the distance of the last enemy hit. So for 0 to 15 meters, it is 25% critical hit damage. 15 to 25, it's 10% critical hit chance and 10% critical hit damage. And then for 25 meters and above, it's gonna be 25% critical hit chance. But we're all doing it for that critical hit damage. We're almost close to that cap already. And of course, it helps out our teammates as well. It's one of the best masks you can run around with. But that's pretty much my whole setup of the build. I use a Reviver Hive with 10% Reviver Armor Repair, 5% range and 10% health. And I use one of my favorite skills to use, and that is the Foam Launcher. 9.8% in share duration and 1 extra ammo on there. So let's jump over to the stats and let me show you that real quick. And that will be 58% critical hit chance, so 2% away from the cap. 161% critical hit damage, 75% headshot damage, and then, of course, that extra 10% damage to target out of cover from our gun. And that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments down below if you're using this build already. Do you have a better build for this event going on? We have 2 weeks of Golden Bullet. It's gonna be a freaking blast. And I'm gonna give you a few more builds as well. But I would love to know what you play with and what you think is the best build to run around with this Golden Bullet event. And that's pretty much it. Thank you very much if you're still here, sticking until the end. You are a freaking legend. If you liked the video or helped you out in any form, make sure to like the video. And of course, if you're new here or you want to just be updated about the Division 2 and the Division universe, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. PurePrime out.